We're going to go up to File, and we're going to hit Save As. And we're going to save files as projects, okay? We talked a little bit about templates. We're not going to save them as templates. We're not saving them as cloud models. And later on, we'll talk about libraries. So the only other option, and families as well. So the only other option we have is projects. And that's what we're working on. And that's what we're going to be predominantly saving your file as. So we'll hit Project. Now you're going to locate where you want to save your file. But what's really important is we're going to come over here to Options. Revit has in place a system that allows you to save up to 20 backups. So when I hit Save, it'll save this one file. And then the next time I hit Save, as I'm working, it'll save it as a second file. It does not override the original file. So it'll say Javier Revit 1, Javier Revit 2, Javier Revit 3, Javier Revit 4. It'll do that 20 times. The reason why it does that is because within this profession, people change their mind quite a bit, or we have to make revisions and changes quite a bit, whether it be for budget, construction, clients, whatever it is, we sometimes, or we oftentimes have to go back to previous models. And so it's sometimes easier, or sometimes nice, to be able to go find and locate a previous model that you did, maybe that you worked on yesterday, or 15 saves ago. And it's easier to just open that file back up than it is to go in and delete everything you did and reconstruct what you already had. Okay, so that's why it allows you to save up to 20. It actually allows you to save up, I think, to 50 backups. That's an upside. The downside is now you have 50 files. And how are you going to figure out which one of those files is the correct one? But more importantly, you now have 50 files, and each file is maybe 10 megabytes, which now means that you have a whole bunch of files, and it's all eating up your storage on your computer. Okay, so there's a pro and con to this. I think for these tutorials and for these projects, a good number of backups is just simply 3. Okay, so we're going to set this up to have 3 backups. Now, if you want more or if you want less, then you can make that adjustment here. Okay, now it's going to number these backups. So you'll have your original file, Javier's test file. Then you'll have Javier's test file 1, Javier's test file 2, Javier's test file 3. So the number 3, Javier's test file 3, is going to be not the most recent one, but it's going to be the farthest saved file. The most recent one is going to be the one that does not have a number. So it'll be Javier's test file, right? If it says Javier's test file 1, then that was the second most recently saved file. Okay, so you're going to save this. I recommend 3. You can choose a number that is appropriate to you. We just hit OK, and then you go ahead and you locate where in the file you want to save at, and then you'll hit Save. Once you've done this, once you've hit Save As, then that's the only time you have to do that. That's the only time you're going to have to do that with this one project. Okay. Moving forward, you could just hit this little icon. But if we look at it, it says save and then Control S. Control S is going to be your best friend. I recommend you save at all times. But Revit also has a really nice feature where it'll prompt you every 30 minutes to save your file. Okay. And I'm sure throughout the tutorials, you're going to see that prompt. So instead of waiting 30 minutes for that prompt to show up, I'll just show you guys in the next tutorial. Okay. But that's how we go about saving files. And it's important to save your files regularly and as often as you can, because computers do crash and you do not want to lose any of your work. Okay, good luck.